Alright, what's up guys? So today I have for you an Altergeist deck profile. I think this deck is really cool. I love it. I think it's really fun to play, especially with all the interactions that you can have during their turn or your turn. Um, I think it's really good. I don't think I've really solved this deck. I haven't ran it at a locals yet, but I just got the last pieces for it. I just traded for them, and I'm really excited to actually try the deck and play it because I've had actually I think the whole core for 2 years now, and I just finally got the last things I need. It's actually still not even complete because I'm missing some extra cards that we'll get to here in a minute. But let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. So, first off, we have three multi-faker, three marionetter, and then three Maleuseek. Uh, these are probably the three best Altergeist cards. I mean, some people argue that this is the best. Some people argue that this is pretty decent. And most people think that this is the best. So, uh, I like them all. I want to see any of them in my hand. I've seen people run just two marionetters. I think that's honestly ridiculous. I want to see Altergeist cards in my hand, no matter when or what. Basically, what Multifaker does is if you activate a trap card, which is a trap heavy deck, during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is special summoned, you can special summon one Altergeist monster from your deck in defense position except Altergeist Multifaker. You cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, except for Altergeist monsters, and then you can only use each effect once. So it's a hard once per turn on everything, uh, and it's basically just to get out things that you need. So your targets are going to be really anything that you want. It's just so open. I love that they brought it back to three. I think it's amazing. I had three at the time and was at one, and I was like, that's upsetting. And I want more of these, and they ended up bringing it back to three, so I got a little bit more excited again. So, um, some slash most of the time you might be bringing out Maleuseek, but I'll show you the other cards that you need here in a minute. So let's push these up here. Next we have the two ofs. We have just two silks and then one conquery. That's how I say it. I don't know if that's correct, but sometimes you might be wanting to summon out, special summon out multi-faker, do silk, bounce multi-faker, and then all that stuff. So basically, this you return one Altergeist card you control to the hand, and then they return one card they control to the hand. This when you only normal summon it, um, as sets a spell. I think it's just a trap. I don't think there's any spells. Sets an Altergeist trap from the deck to the field, and then you can just use that trap card the next turn. But it also has the other effect that you can send a Altergeist card you control to special summon an Altergeist card from the graveyard. And then Maleuseek is attack directly, and if you do, you can target one card they control and send it to the graveyard. So it's not a destroy, it's a send. It's really good for getting things out, and it's one card, not monster. Um, and then if this is sent to the graveyard from the field by any way, you can uh, add an Altergeist card monster from the deck to your hand. And then this is amazing. I love this card. I almost want to run it at two, but one is just fine. I think that you can recur it enough. But if it's special summoned in any way, we'll skip the first effect for a second. If it's special summoned, you can target one card your opponent controls and then negate it while this is face up on the field. So this can automatically just negate something if you need to special summon it. Um, Also, it's really good for if they declare an attack, you control an authorized card, so not even just a monster. If you control one of the traps, you can special summon that card from the hand, and if you do negate the attack, and then get your special summon effect off with the negate. So, also another thing with this is that you can bounce it back with Conquerium if they need to attack with something else. You can special summon it out again. It's amazing. I think I love it. Well, I know I love it. Next, we have this is the card I've been missing because it's really hard to find for me. Three personal spoofing. Once per turn, you can shuffle one other Altergeist card from your hand or face from the field to the main deck. Add one Altergeist monster from the deck to your hand. Uh, this is this is like the best card for the deck. The only thing is that it's not called Altergeist, so you can't search it. You have to hard draw it. Um, Even when you don't see it, if you don't see it, then you probably have something else that's going to get you more. That's going to get you recursion and all that. Um, I love this card. I think it's amazing. You can also interrupt a lot of plays because you could do it during your opponent's turn. So if they try to target one of your Altergeist cards, then you can just shuffle it back, get something else. Um, Another cool thing too is if you have it set face down, then you activate it and use its effect to shuffle something back. You can get a multi faker immediately to your hand, and then on resolution, you can special summon the multi faker and then continue on with building your board. Um, but amazing, amazing card. Uh, Next, we have two manifestation and then two protocol. Um, I hate the haunted rock variant. A lot of the times people are like, I if you draw it, it's a dead draw. Yeah, I don't. So I'm not gonna play it. Like, I want to see things I want to see, and a lot of people just run the three of these. Just three is fine. Because you can bring this back off of other things. Uh, but I think the two is fine. If I see it in my hand, great. If I don't, then I can still get it. Like this deck is amazing with consistency. Um, that's it for the Altergeist cards. Now we have our other standards. So first we have three Imperm. The dream going second hand is having Imperm in hand and then a multi-faker, because then you can negate something and then special summon out multi-faker and then continue on. Next we have I'm a little bit on the fence about having this one, but it's three Crackdown. The only reason why you should have it is if you plan on linking a lot. If you plan on playing a more controlled variant, which is what this is, you could probably take this out for something else, but I think it's still good for the control aspect because you get their monster, and let's say if they have whatever it is that you don't want them on their side of the field, you can crack down and just hold on to it. You don't even have to use it for a link, because if it's better in their graveyard, it's better on your field. So for you at least. Next we have Torrential Tribute. This is also a good side deck option to take out if you don't need it. But board, like I said in a previous video of mine, or a video that's coming out, I don't know. Usually a lot of decks can't deal with board wipes, and when they do, it's harder for them to recover. Other than the tier zero like Ishizu two elements, but um, I think it's really good just to have in the main deck, just in case you need to get things cleared out. Um, Next we have our Solemns. We have two Solemn Strike and then two Warning. I don't run Judgment because of two reasons. One, I don't have it, and two, I would like to see four of these instead of just like having three and then putting them all in. Plus, I like my life points a little bit. I'm one of those people that if I don't have any, then I have to really decide on what I'm going to do. Because some decks can actually one-shot you if you're at 4K, especially like Scareclaw or something. But um, this is just good to have four interrupts, and then you can plus off of that. And then this is a different Dimension Ground. This you can also side out if they don't use their graveyard that much. However, if you want to run this at three, you can. I only have two. Um, Run this at three if you need to. You can tech out maybe a Torrential or one of your Crackdowns. But it's an amazing card to have just to flip up on their draw phase, and then any monster sent to the graveyard is banished instead. Like it's hard to deal with. You don't really need your graveyard during that turn anyway. Um, so if you have this, yeah, multi-faker, activate this, special summon out multi-faker, special summon out whatever else you need, and then you're good. Like you don't even need your graveyard that much. And that is actually it for the traps. Normally you go over spells first, but traps for this deck is a must. The cool thing about Altergeist too is that you can actually run any traps that you want. So like things like this and things like the Solemns. Like if you want to run more Solemn Judgments, you can for the Omni Negate. Um, if you want to run more Floodgates like this, well, I guess like Skill Drain would be more like a Floodgate, but you can even run that too. Um, you can run anything that you want in trap form. Like it's an amazingly consistent like interruption deck. It's hard to deal with. Next we have our only 6 spells. I know it's a little much, but 6 spells in the deck. We have 3 Secret Village of the Spellcasters and then 3 Pot of Extravagance. Um, Secret Village is good for shutting off their spell cards. You're not going to use spell cards other than this. And if you have both these in your hand, then you just activate this first, and then you can activate your Secret Village. It's awesome for shutting down their hand and shutting out the deck. Um, I have a side deck option for Runics that I'll talk about here in a minute. Because I have a few side decks that I want you, or side deck things that if you don't have what I have in my deck, then you can just put in your deck if you do end up having it. But get your hands on this card. Uh, it's just amazing because everything in your deck is spellcasters. Um, yeah, so that's it of these, and then this is just for good recursion. Uh, I think that you can probably side one out if you need to, but the extra draw is always nice. All right, on to our extra decks. So first off, we have 3 Hextia. It's the best Altergeist extra deck monster in the deck. It says gains attack equal to the original attack of each Altergeist monster it points to. When a spell or trap card is activated, you can quick effect tribute one Altergeist monster this card points to, negate the activation if you do destroy it. You have things that you can tribute with this card, and they get effects with that. So, if you have a Maluseek on your field and it's under your Hextia, then you get the free search. If you have your Silquatus, it also has a trap recursion, so if it gets sent to the graveyard, you can add it back. Also, if you have an Altergeist monster in your extra zone and then one under it, you get a free last part of the effect where it says if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Altergeist card from the deck to your hand. You get a free search. So that's why you run it at 3, because you can have it in your graveyard, you can recur it, all that good stuff with your Marionette or whatever. But 3's always have 3. Next we have 2 Prime Banshee. A lot of people run 1. I like 2 just to have an option for if I need to go into it and I already extracted one out. Really good. So next we have 3 Linkuriboh and then 1 Almirage. These are for your Maluseeks, and then this is for like your Silk if you turn 1, draw a Silk and you need something else out in the field. But these are for your Maluseeks, and you want to have 3. That way if you extrav 2 of them out, you still have 1. That's just turn 1 stuff. Like if you just have Maluseek, you can then Linkuriboh it and then grab your Multifaker and then continue from there. Next we have a Abyss Dweller. You might not see this, but boy, when you need it, you're going to try to get to it. If they have a graveyard heavy deck, you don't have anything to deal with it in your hand, you want to try to get to this. There are ways to get into this. You can Multifaker and then Marionetter, and then if you have a level 4 in your graveyard, like another Marionetter, you can pop your Multifaker, get the other Marionetter, and then Abyss Dweller. It's the only level 4 in the deck, so that's pretty much almost what you can do. But you can do that. It's possible with this deck to manipulate that. And then next we have an IP Masquerena. This was pretty good to get your board cleared if you need to play during their turn, like which is normally what you do, but if you need to link during their turn. I just kind of have this in here to mention Nightmares. You could run them if you want. If you don't want to, then that's fine. But they're good just for dealing with some things that you can't really get rid of with your actual deck. And then we have an Appaloosa and a Boral Sword. This is your win con, and then Appaloosa is just if you need extra monster negates. This I kind of lied. This isn't really your win con. This is just push for game if they have an open board, which a lot of the time you might end up having a game where you clear problematic cards on their board and they actually can't do anything. So then you just go for Boral Sword and they just continue on and win the game. I know this is I think it's 14, 3, 6, 9, 14, yeah. About 14 cards. The reason why I said it was incomplete at the beginning is because I need the big boss Altergeist monster. I think it's Memory Gant. It's Memory Gant. I really need that. I really want to get it. But this deck, if you actually don't have it, this deck can still do really well, and you can actually still play aggressive with this deck. That just adds more aggression to it. Um, but yeah, thanks for watching.